So today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Okay. And on Thursdays, you know what we like to do. We like to do Zoom. So please come and join us on Zoom because we have a fantastic time. Today is Wednesday, second day of your third week in math. We are going to be doing day 2, and I call it just box puzzle math worksheet is the easiest way to explain it. It looks kind of difficult, but Miss Norris is going to help you out. Okay, so I'm going to help you with a few of those boxes on there, and then you're going to be assigned to do the rest of those boxes. All right, so let's get into the video. All right, so today is math puzzle boxes, and I can hear some people saying, what in the world is this? All right, that's why it's very, very important to read the instructions first. Each puzzle contains the numbers 1 through 9. So these numbers that you're going to put in these boxes are only going to be the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. They're not going to be any bigger than that. And there's not going to be a number 0. All right? Each column and each row add up to the number given outside the boxes. So for an example, you have numbers going this way. You have a 4, a blank, and a blank. A 4, a blank, and a 3. Those numbers are going to add up to the number 14. All right? Then you have rows and columns going this way. And those numbers are going to add up to the number 15. And then you have numbers going this way. That's going to add up to the number 10. All right? And the same way for all the other boxes, for all the other puzzles. All right? So here we go. Put the correct number in each box to complete the addition equations without repeating any numbers. So we're only going to use those numbers one time. So here we go. Starting with the first one. When you start one of these boxes, you're going to try to say, okay, what's the easiest way to find the answer? Now, the easiest way is to start with the row or the column that has the most numbers already filled in. So for an example, I have this one, this one, and this one. All the numbers are missing. So I probably don't want to start there. All right? Then here, I have 2 numbers missing. I probably don't want to start there either. But here, I only have 1 number missing. Here, I only have 1 number missing. All right? So that's probably where I want to start because I only have 1 number missing. So let's go ahead and start with 4 and 3. All right? So here we go. We have the first column with 4, a missing number, and 3. And they have to add up to the number 14. All right, here we go. So we know already that 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. You say, Miss Norris, well, where did you get 4 plus 3? Right here and right here, 4 and 3. Because it's telling us that it's adding to the number 14. So that means I need to add 4 and 3 to find the missing number. So I know that 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. All right, so I have that part. But I still have that missing box. All right, well, now I know 7. But I also know something else. I know that it's equal to 14. All right, So now I know that 7 plus something is equal to 14. All right? We know that when we have something missing, we should use our whole part chart. Now, for some of us, we probably already figured out the answer, and that's okay. So, whole part chart. We know in an addition problem, it's part plus part equals whole. So we know that 7 is our part and that 14 is our whole. So when we have a whole and a part, we should subtract. We have 14 minus 7. All right. More on the floor, go next door. That equals 0, and that turns into 14. Right? From our last sorry guys, I got a crick in my name. From our last assignments, I apologize. All right. So now we have 14 minus 7, and we should figure it out that 14 minus 7 is equal to 7. So the answer is 7. So the missing number is 7. So we have that number. All right, here we go. So now, we have this row now has 2, and this one still has 2, and this one has 2. So we can do whichever one we want now. So I would say let's go ahead and do the row 7 and 5. All right, so we're going to do row 7 and 5. So if we're doing this row, then our numbers have to equal 20. All right, so we have the number 7 plus 5. All right, now you can't say 7 plus 5 equals 20 because it doesn't. All right, remember, we're trying to figure out this missing number so that all 3 of them can equal 20. All right, so what is 7 plus 5? Should have figured out that 7 plus 5 is 12. All right, so now that we know that 7 plus 5 is 12, all right, say, okay, Ms. Norris, that's not helping anything. All right, well, we know 7 plus 5 is 12. And we also know that all of these 3 numbers has to equal 20. So we have 12 plus something equals 20. All right, we can do our whole part chart. All right, and we know that an addition sign is all it is a part plus a part equals a whole. So we know that 12 is a part and that 20 is our whole. And we know if we have a whole and a part, we subtract. So we have 20 minus 12. All right, always start in the ones place. All right, first thing you do is circle the bigger number. Bigger number is 2. More on the floor, go next door. We only take 1, so 2 turns into 1. When I subtract, I take from the tens and then go back, right, and add our 10. So 0 becomes 10. So now our bigger number is at the top. 10 minus 2 is 8. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So we know our missing number is 8. All right, so we can erase that. and put in the number 8. All right, now, here we go. Go and do, let's see, boxes 5 and 1. All right, and so here we go. All right, so we are going to start in the boxes of 5 and 1. All right, and so since we're going this way, we want our numbers to add up to the number 8. All right, so we already have the numbers 5 plus 1. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. All right, well, we still have that missing box. We can't just put 6 there because 6 plus 5 equals 11. And 11 plus 1 equals 12. And 12 is not the same as 8. Remember, we want our number to equal 8. So here we go. So I erase that and I still have the number 6. It's like, okay, well, I have the number 6 from my 5. From my 5 and from my 1, I have the number 6. Okay, so I need to find the answer of 8. All right, I need this answer of 8. So what do we also know? We know that it's equal to 8. So we know that 6 plus something is equal to 8. All right, so whole part chart. All right, we know that an addition problem is just part plus part equals whole. So we know that 6 is our part and 8 is our whole. All right, we know that if we have our whole and our part, we subtract. All right, and how do we know that our whole is 8? Because our whole is always the total, and 8 is the total. So we have 8 minus 6, and you should have gotten the answer of 2. All right, so we figured out that the answer is 2. And when we check it, 2 plus 5 equals 7. 7 plus 1 equals 8. So that is correct. All right, here we go. We have, actually we can do either one. We will do 4 and 2. So we're going this way. So our numbers have to equal 15. All right, so here we go. We already know that we have 4 and 2, and that's equal to 6. All right, so where do we get the 4 and the 2 from? We got it from right here. All right, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. All right, well, how does this help me, Miss Norris? Okay, well, we have 6, and we also know that it has to equal 15. So we have 6 plus something equals 15. And when we know something is missing, apologies, when we know something is missing, we draw our whole part chart. All right, so we know that an addition problem is all part plus part equals whole. All right, So we know that 6 has to be our part and 15 has to be our whole. All right? Now, we know that if we have our whole and our part, that is equal to a subtraction equation. So we have 15 minus 6. All right? Here we go. Always start in the ones place. When we subtract, the first thing we do is circle the bigger number. The bigger number is 6. More on the floor, go next door. Go next door and I take 1. If I take 1, 1 turns into 0. When I subtract, I take from the tens and then go back and I add 10. And so 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. So 15 minus 6 is 9. So my answer is 9. All right. We have one more box to fill in, guys. Here we go. We have 9 and 8. All right. And so since we're going this way, it has to equal 23. All right. So here we go. We have 9 plus 8. Well, what is 9 plus 8? And why are we even adding, Miss Norris? How do you know that you are supposed to add? Well, in the directions, it says that each row and column add up to the number on the outside. So that's how I know that I am adding. So 9 plus 8 equals 17. All right. So now, okay, Ms. Norris, that still doesn't tell me what number is in the box because the answer is not 17. I should not write. Oh, okay, I found the answer. It's 17. No. 9 plus 8 is 17. And then 17 plus 17 equals 34. And we don't need the answer of 34. We need the answer of 23. So that means just finding 17, that is not the answer. All right. So we have that. And so now we know that part of the problem is 17. We also know part of the problem is equal to 23. All right, so now we have 17 plus something is equal to 23. When we have that, we do our whole part chart. All right, so we know that 17 is one of our parts and that 23 is our whole, and we need to find the other part. So we know that when we have our whole and our part, we subtract. So we have 23 minus 17. All right, here we go. We always start in the ones place. More on the floor, go next door. Only take 1. When I subtract, I take from the tens and then go back. So 3 plus 10 equals 13. 13 minus 7 is equal to 6. Then I go to my tens place. 1 minus 1 is 0. So the answer is 6. All right. That is how you're going to do all the rest of these boxes. It may take us a little longer than how the other assignments have, but that is okay. Take your time If you have any questions, leave me comments, send me a text or phone call or email between the hours of 12 and 2. And just know that I love you and do your best. Bye.